welcome to Pluribus Unum's Fireside Chats. Not as good as FDR's, but hey, it's something. Now, before I get into the main stuff, just want to let you all know that I did a video with a sunflower socialist. Go check it out. It's in my playlist of appearances on other channels. And as you can tell by the title, we say who we'd vote for in every single presidential election. We talk about some things, and there are some pieces of information that I get discovered, to say the least. They're tech issues, but, I mean, everything I'm on that's live always has tech issues. So anyways, let's just get right into the news. The first thing is something that is relatively big.
Hi, Dennis Kucinich here. As a former Cleveland mayor and 8-term U.S. congressman, I remain concerned that our country is spending too much time looking for dragons to slay in other countries instead of taking care of things here at home. That's why I'm supporting Tulsi Gabbard for the Democratic nomination for president. She has the courage and the intelligence to get our country back on track. Please join me in supporting her.
Okay, so in case there was anything that, in case I didn't pop up anything at all, Dennis Kucinich formally endorses Tulsi Gabbard's presidential bid, joining Mike Gravel in endorsing Tulsi over, well, I mean, Gravel dual endorsed, but Kucinich didn't endorse Bernie's campaign, which is strange because, albeit Gravel, to be fair, Gravel, he does have some, he leans more in the direction of Tulsi than Bernie, but Kucinich, I believe, leans more towards Bernie than Tulsi. So why is Kucinich endorsing Tulsi over Bernie? Well, for one, it's probably the same reason Jimmy Dore is endorsing Tulsi over Bernie. It's probably mostly due to foreign policy. You know, foreign policy seems to have some drive in, like, a lot of people's viewpoints. Like, some people say domestic policy is better, some people say foreign policy is better, etc., etc. They believe, I guess, Kucinich just, like he said in the video, he's concerned for the, like, what we're doing across the oceans. But, I mean, here, we just gotta do things for doing things. Alright? And, well, I guess that somewhat makes sense. Kucinich was best known for a foreign policy candidate. Look at me, he did talk about single payer, but his strain was mostly due to foreign policy. Okay, so next story. Saudi Arabia sentences 5 people to death for Khashoggi murder. Saudi Arabia has sentenced 5 people to death for the killing of prominent journalist and Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. 3 additional people were sentenced to prison over the brutal murder carried out inside of the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, which sparked national outrage. Saudi Arabia has not announced who has been sentenced to death or imprisoned. The CIA has concluded the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman ordered Khashoggi's assassination, but the prince remains a close ally to the U.S. government. Well, for starters, good. If these 5 people are the ones who killed Khashoggi, good. That's a good thing. Journalism gets saved because there are actually consequences. I mean, truly, I think, like, this should be reasonable. Like, these people murdered a man. He should be sentenced to jail. And we also shouldn't be aiding and abetting in the genocide of the people who orchestrated the attack. You know, I'd say we probably should, not be allied with them. But, it's a bit too much to be saying that. We have to stay allied with Saudi Arabia for some reason. I don't know why, but we do. Okay, so this one is a story for the 2020 election. Mike Bloomberg exploited prison labor to make 2020 presidential campaign phone calls. Former New York City mayor and multi-billionaire Democratic presidential candidate Mike Bloomberg used prison labor to make campaign calls. Through a third-party vendor, the Mike Bloomberg 2020 campaign contracted New Jersey-based call center company Promcom, which runs call centers in New Jersey and Oklahoma. 2 of the call centers in Oklahoma are operated out-of-state prisons. In at least one of the 2 prisons, incarcerated people were contracted to make calls on the behalf of the Bloomberg campaign. According to a source who asked for anonymity for fear of retribution, people incarcerated at the Dr. Eddie Warrior Correctional Center, a minimum security women's prison with a capacity of more than 900, were making calls to California on behalf of Bloomberg. The people were requiring to end their calls by disclosing the calls were paid for by the Bloomberg campaign. They did not disclose, however, that they were calling from behind bars. The Bloomberg campaign confirmed the arrangement in an emailed statement to The Intercept. "We didn't know about this, and we never would have allowed it if we had," said Bloomberg spokeswoman Julie Wood. "We do not believe in this practice, and we have now ended our relationship with the subcontractor in question." There was a like a thing from The Intercept's they're like journal, they're like drawing, like they're artists. The nib. Hold on. They have the nib here. The nib is part of them, right? I know the nib is a part of The Intercept, correct? The Nib Comics. They're part of The Intercept, correct? Or maybe they're not part of The Intercept. But they made a comic like about Bloomberg doing this, and it was kind of funny. I don't know if I can find it. Is it not on the website? Oh, there it is. Mike Bloomberg exploited prison labor. "I didn't know they were doing this. If I had, I would have done it in New York." Like, seriously. It's very likely that he would have done this just for doing this. Because, I mean, Bloomberg, to be fair, he's not been the most, good with prisoners. I mean, considering there's this thing called stop and frisk that he had. I mean, it's very likely he would have done this if he knew it was a thing. So anyways, next story, coming at you from Congress. The U.S. officially raises the tobacco buying age to 21. A new law in the United States that prohibits the sale of tobacco products to anyone under the age of 21 is now in effect, according to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Last week, President Donald Trump signed the new minimum age law into law as part of a sweeping spending bill. On Friday, the FDA notes on its website that it is now illegal for a retailer to sell anyone a tobacco product, including cigarettes, cigars, or e-cigarettes, to anyone under 21. FDA will provide additional details on the issue as they become available. The increased age restriction for tobacco products is one of several provisions outside of the spending. I don't really get it. Like, let me show you who voted for it. Because who voted for it is going to be interesting. You're going to get a mixed bag. Because it was bipartisan in its approval and its dissent. Okay, let's see. House and Senate. It passed the Senate 71 to 23. The nays were mostly Republican, but they had like 2 Democrats, Carper and Gillibrand. Booker, Harris, Isaacson, Klobuchar, Sanders, and Warren did not vote because, well, 3 of them, it's because they're running for president. 4. Klobuchar, I forgot. Harris, I don't know. I guess she's still mad that she dropped out or something. I don't know. 7 Democrats nayed it. Like, Amash nayed it. But basically, here's my opinion. I'm going to give you my opinion here. I don't think the tobacco age should have been lowered. No, I do not think that it should be lowered. I think the drinking age, not lowered, raised. I don't think the smoking age should be... Okay, so technically I was right in both statements. I don't think the tobacco age should be lowered or raised. I think that tobacco age was fine. 18 makes sense. Legal adult. You can have sex. Then go have a smoke afterwards. I mean, that makes sense. It just seems to make the most sense. And drinking age, I think it should be lowered, actually. The only way that I would accept it in any other capacity would be if they made it so that all the ages were 25. Because 25, as many people say, 25 is when the full frontal cortex or frontal lobe or whatever. That's when it's complete. That's when you're officially an adult. That makes sense. But to an extent, there should be different ages for different things. Okay, so now on to the smaller candidate of the day. Diaz for president. His name is Dennis A. Diaz. He's the United States presidential candidate for 2020. He joined the Marines and served for 4 years, and he's not afraid to fight and never gets offended. He will fight for what is right, no matter the consequences. His ability to set up 2 successful businesses is proof of him being a great one. With his yearn for success, he will bring changes that will better America and its people. We must understand that we are in the midst of a crisis. Our economy is inadequately weakening, a consequence of greed and unreliability on many part of some. Homes, jobs, and businesses have been lost. What is a great one? A great one is an amazing, great, and always shows the willingness to better theirself and their situation. Okay, so basically that's his biography is an ego stroke, pretty much. But let's look at his platform, or as he calls it, political Q&A. He's the only presidential candidate that founded and commands his own task force that rescues men, women, and children from human and sex trafficking. Sex trafficking is an industry that brings over $1 trillion. Under his administration, he will continue to rescue those men and women. Okay, that's fair. People who are part of human trafficking are wronged. He will be the first president in history to honor the treaties and will take much care of their native and indigenous peoples across the Turtle Island. Okay, that's fair. He's pro-gun. Gun licenses will be made federal so that everyone can have a right to carry a gun in all states of the United States. He's the first Puerto Rican to run for president of the United States. I don't think that's true. He's privileged to be born and raised in the island until the age of 9. He'll be working with, I thought he was going to say Puerto Rican statehood, but I guess not. He will reduce the cost of healthcare and will make it affordable for all. We will have minimum wage raised on a federal level. Affordable housing, high quality education, women's rights, lobbying out of politics, resolving homelessness, racism and sexism, government shutdown. If the government gets shut down, to me, all government employees will still be... Okay, that's fair. Okay, that's it. The end. Does his Twitter have any, thing special? Let me see. Who's he following? Pence, Obama, Hillary. Ooh, he's following Bernie. That's cool. Okay, but anyways, now let's move on to the main topic picks of the video. First, the Q&A section. If people asked questions, well, they'd probably get more. Now, I would have probably held off on this, but nah, I gave people a week. It's very unlikely anybody's going to ask me any more questions, which is sad because my 100 sub Q&A was less subs, but more questions. Alright then. I got technically 3, but from 2 people. First, Mr. Beat. Where do you see yourself in 10 years, and where do you see the country politically in 10 years? First, I'll start off where I see myself in 10 years. Ideally, a senator, or in some form of government position. Senator isn't 100% particular, but I'd ideally want to be senator by this point in time. Like, if I were 39, I'd ideally want to be a senator at that point in time. But I'd still be okay if I was just still a lowly member of the House. But, whatevs. No, I mean, that's the gracious one. But there are also some people like the Angry Video Game Nerd that even though they've been on the internet for well over 10 years, I highly doubt 10 years ago, he thought that he was going to still be making videos where he talks about how much he plays shitty games. I highly doubt he wanted to do that for 10 years. I mean, I highly doubt that's what he wanted. But, I mean, whatever. That's just how it is. Where do I see the country politically in 10 years? Well, that depends on a couple things. One, is climate change fixed? Because if not, we won't be around for 10 years. But ideally, I think it's likely that we're going to be seeing, a change. Like, our politics will be different. We'll be getting more of the populist left and right. We'll be a lot more prominent in U.S. politics. We might have more than one major party. Who knows? And Alex Kawa, what music / artist do you listen to? And just listen to whatever, really, to be honest. Sorry to be, well, I know that's not really the best answer, but that's it. I don't really listen to that. Like, I don't have a particular set of music. My music playlist is just, completely screwed up. So anyways, since I knew that wasn't going to hold off a video, I decided to merge 2 episodes into one. Now I will also do the 9-axis quiz. As you can tell, it's a ripoff of the 8 values quiz, but is 9. You see, it rates me on 9 things: federal / unitary, democratic versus authoritarian, globalist versus isolationist, militarist versus pacifist, security v. freedom, equality v. markets, secular v. religious, progressive v. traditional, and assimilationist versus multiculturalist. Yeah, and this will be like the roundup video, so might as well do this big one. okay, he'll be doing that. He'll be making a new one. So, basically, I have to answer questions based on how well I agree with them. Strongly agree, strongly disagree, etc., etc. Alright? And because this is going to be the final wrap-up video, why not do the official 216 question version? Here we go. Economies without any capitalism will collapse. I would probably have to say agree because I'm a social democrat, so capitalism will exist to an extent. It will somewhat exist to an extent. Like, I mean, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, all other forms of, like, Soviet Union, for example, or I'll use a modern day example, China. China has a huge free trade agreement. Like, they're hugely into free trade, despite the fact that they are well known for being a communist society. So they've clearly adapted some form of capitalism in there. So I guess I'll put slightly agree. There should be compulsory military service. Strongly disagree. Just nope. The government should have access to the emails of suspected terrorists. No, I'll put slightly disagree because technically, like, let's say you're a suspected terrorist and you get arrested by the U.S. government. Technically, they should also have access to your emails, just in case. But, I mean, I'll put no. I mean, that's what... No, yeah, I guess I'll put disagree because in this slight example where it is, that's fine, but I mean... Like I said, the scenario I just described, that's like the one exception. Otherwise, no, the government should not have access to your emails. Immigrants should be expected to learn the language of the country. And this isn't really a big thing, because let's say you were, like, I mean, I'm going to put neutral or unsure because, let me explain. Like, I mean, if you're from Mexico, like from the heart of Mexico, and you come here and you want to be, like, just want to be a busboy at a Mexican restaurant, then sure, you don't need to learn English. Like, it shouldn't be, like, expected is different than forced. So I'll put neutral / unsure. Public utilities like roads and electricity should be publicly owned. Yeah, I'll put strongly agree with that. Yeah, public utilities should be publicly owned. People born to wealthy families have unfair success even when they aren't skilled and don't work hard. Abso-freaking-lutely, duh. It's important to maintain law and order. I mean, like, technically, yes, but, I mean, in this specific context, like, what are the specifics? Like, put slightly agree, because, I mean, technically, to an extent, yeah, that makes sense. A better world will come from automation, science, and technology. Not necessarily better or worse. I'll put neutral or unsure. If they just said science and technology, yeah, 100%. But automation, I guess I'll put slightly agree. Technically, the world will be a better place if we advance technology and science in the stuff. People should have equal opportunities to succeed. Absolutely. The government has no business looking into most people's personal lives. Yeah. No business. I guess maybe in, like, specific circumstances. But I mean, for the most part, no. So, the government has no business looking into most people's personal lives. So, strongly agree, yeah. I support single-payer universal healthcare. Well, obviously not. Duh. I'm gonna put strongly disagree because I'm such a hardcore capitalist. Duh. We have no right to militarily intervene in other nations. I'll put agree because technically we have some right in an extent. Like if there's we have no right. I'll put agree, yeah. Yeah, just agree. A united world government would be beneficial to mankind. Neutral, unsure. It depends on the government. It depends on everything. Immigrants are a net positive. Yeah, I guess I'd say agree, yeah. I mean, it would make it. They're a net positive in a degree, yeah. I'd say agree. Diplomatic options should always be tried before war is ever considered. 100% absolutely. I believe there is something after death. Nope. If we accept migrants at all, it is important that they assimilate into our culture. No, it's not necessarily that they assimilate to our culture. Laws should be completely consistent with all regions of the nation. Laws should be completely consistent with all regions of the nation. I guess it'd make more sense. It'd make more sense and we wouldn't have troubles, but yeah, probably. I support regional unions such as the European Union. Neutral or unsure. It's an iffy situation. I don't know. We'd have to go into specifics. Alliances are important for protecting a nation. I don't know, because sometimes that leads to intervention. I don't know if that's... Maybe... I'll put agree. Neutral, unsure. Nobody in other countries has their best interests in mind. Yeah, technically, yeah. Agree. Wait. Nobody in other countries has their best interests in mind. I mean, I don't know. I don't completely understand the question, so I'll put neutral, unsure. War usually leads to worst outcomes. Agree, 100%. We are first and foremost citizens of the earth. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't matter, really. I guess... Agree? No? Neutral, unsure. Democracy is the worst form of government except for all others we've tried. Yeah, I agree. Democracy, pretty cool. The internet should be banned. Absolutely not. No. Where am I going to get my porn from, bro? Some freedom must be given up in order to keep people safe. I'll put disagree. It is important that we maintain the traditions of our past. As Kylo Ren once said, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. The general populace make poor decisions. Neutral or unsure, because it's a mixed bag. People should not have protections that could hinder discovering their criminal activity. No. Disagree. Peace is preferable to war whenever possible. 100%. Countries that do not serve our interests should be toppled. Strongly disagree. No. Technological progress is usually good. Yeah, 100%. Catering to popular opinion is detrimental to a nation. No. Why would it be? Abortion should be legal in all cases. 100%. 100%. Mandatory abortion. To chase progress at all costs is dangerous. No, not necessarily. It is better to maintain a balanced budget than to ensure welfare to all our citizens. No. If we have the ability to pay for healthcare for everyone, It's not even just a question of can we do it, it's if we want to do it. Technology is negatively affecting modern society. Nope, just no. Environmental regulations are essential, 100%. A country cannot function without a national government. Obviously, I mean, name me one country that doesn't have a federal government. The stronger the leadership, the better. Depends on what you mean by strong leader. Does strong leader mean complete dictator, or does that mean a person that's willing to do what needs to be done, or something? I don't know. Neutral or unsure. International trade is generally beneficial. What kind of trade? Is the trade fine? Is it trade legal? Is the trade fair? Depends. I'll put slightly agree because in a good society where the trade is fair and equitable for everybody and the workers, sure. A military option should always be considered. No. It shouldn't always be considered. It should be the last thing you consider. A nation must obey its leadership without question. Disagree. Border protection is important. It depends on what you mean. But I guess I'll put neutral on unsure because it depends on what you mean. All societies are a blend of cultures. Yeah. Democracy makes it too easy for a majority to further itself at the expense of minorities. Not really, no. Kind of, but sort. Depends. Like, I mean, for example, what if if a minority of the people don't like that certain opinion, then, I mean, what do you do? I'll put slightly disagree. Testing products on animals is ethical. Well, again, it would depend on the circumstance. Neutral or unsure. People's freedoms should have no limits. People's freedoms should have no limits. I guess I agree with the concept. There is no need for local or state governments. Now that's not true. Only extremely talented immigrants, if that, should be permitted to enter the country. Strongly disagree. Faith is complete nonsense. You can be faithful if you want, but whatever, bro. Those who disagree with the government should be removed from the country. No. There is no higher power. All humans share a common identity. Yeah. There are many issues that it does not make sense to address at a local level. Yeah, I guess technically, yeah. Victimless crimes such as drug use should not be crimes at all. 100%. National cultures are important to protect. No, not really. Neutral or unsure, fine, whatever. Laws should vary from area to area and culture to culture within a country. Neutral or unsure. The government must be by the people, for the people. Strongly agree. United Nations needs more power. No, I think it has enough. Or fair enough. National government protects minorities better than some local governments do. I guess technically. My religious values should be spread as much as possible. No. Elections are an effective way of showing government approval. I guess. I mean, disapproval, technically. It is important to maintain our national sovereignty. Let me see. I want to know the specifics on this. Sure. Religious organizations often provide better assistance to the poor than the government does. Not really. It would mostly depend on circumstance to circumstance, but overall I'd say no. Only our national languages should be spoken in our country. Disagree. Then no way. I'll put strongly disagree. Absolutely. The government should not regulate the economy at all. Strongly disagree. Whistleblowers should be strongly protected. Absolutely. People should have to work for anything they get. I guess I'll put agree, but there might be some specifics to that. The popular opinion is not always right. That is technically true. Back in the day, it was popular for black people to be evil. Theocracy is a good system of government. Nope. There should not be international law. I know I might look like a dummy for doing this, but disagree. The government should monitor all citizens to combat terrorism. Nope. Countries fall apart with constant war. Technically, yeah. Tradition just hinders the progress of technology. Yeah. No. Yeah. Let me see. Subdivisions should not be able to exempt from national laws. Yeah. In order for humanity to survive, we must get past having separate nations. Not really. Nations are nations. Whatever, bro. Everybody should speak at least 2 languages. Neutral, unsure, because everybody should. I mean, it would be cool if everybody did, but it's not required. The very existence of the state is a threat to our liberty. Nope. Representatives rarely represent a nation. Well, kind of. Laws should not be based on religion. Duh. Only those who served in the military should be able to gain power in the government. Nope. That would be a military state. The government must maintain a strong military to defend itself. Technically, yeah, but just to defend itself, nothing more. In general, immigrants are bad for the country. Nope. The elders in society know the best path for it. Okay, boomer. No. When people have already suffered for technology to be developed, we should use that technology. I guess. Society could not function without leaders and followers. Hierarchies usually do end up existing. I'll just put neutral on, sure. Excessive government intervention is a threat to the economy. Nope. In fact, they should probably intervene a little more. Just saying. We should be more accepting to other cultures. Yeah, sure. 100%. Yeah, everybody should be accepted. Genetic modification should be used rarely, if ever. Yeah, it's fair. If it's used, it has to be done rarely. A nation usually needs a military in order to survive. Yeah, technically. Having independent nations with the risk of global conflict creates a large threat to humanity as a whole. I mean, technically, yeah. But I mean, does that mean a one-nation government, a one-world government would be a good thing? Not really. Neutral unsure. I'll put disagree. The government should support and only recognize one religion. Nope. There is no need for national government. Nope. International aid is a waste of money. Depends on what that aid is used for. So I'll put neutral unsure. From each according to his ability to each according to his need. Sure, yeah, I know it's a Marxist quote, but that makes sense. The United Nations should have a military to enforce its resolutions. Neutral unsure. State laws should have precedence over national laws. Nah. It is important that the government follows the majority opinion, even when it's wrong. I mean, technically, yeah. If the majority of the nation technically supports one thing, shouldn't it be that's the rules? Anybody who wants to enter the country should be able to. Sure, yeah. People should think of themselves as citizens of their nation rather than of their state. Whatever. I mean, neutral and sure, because I don't give a shit. You could say, oh, I'm from the free state of Daryl. Sure, whatever. I don't care. The national government can't understand what the people need. That's not necessarily true. Public opinion swings too much with the emotional events being useful for policymaking. Disagree. Leaders must be strong or a nation will suffer. To answer the last question, it doesn't change that much. It changes every, couple of years. Not a couple of years, but, like a decade. Like a decade or two usually takes for opinion to be 100% changed. Leaders must be strong or a nation will suffer. I guess, technically agree. People should vote issue by issue themselves. Yeah, to an extent, I would like for them to vote, for that. That's a position that I've heard that many people have liked. A constant state of war benefits the country? No. Automation overall is extremely good for society. Just automation itself, not really. The wealthy have far more than they need. Police should be regulated more. Yeah, sure. Nobody but me can adequately represent my views. I'd say that's slightly not true. Capitalism is better than any existing alternative. I'll but disagree. That just capitalism on itself is just nah. Government should be accountable to the international community. Yeah. Religion does not belong in government. Religion should be banned. Nope. War is never justified. I'll put slightly disagree because sometimes war is justified. You get like if Saudi Arabia flies a jet plane into New York City and starts shooting 1 million people, then yeah, I say war is probably justified. Military spending is a waste of money. Not necessarily, no. Spending money on the military makes sense. But spending more money on that than, giving everybody health care, that's stupid. Local governments can understand their citizens better than the national government could. Not necessarily true. Police need more power and protection. No. Alliances can pose a threat to a nation's sovereignty. Not necessarily. Strong states weaken a nation. Not really. Communism, if implemented correctly, would be a good form of economics. Pure communism? No. But, like I said before, I'm more of a social democrat, so social democracy is kind of where I want to go. At most, democratic socialism OG form. So, but slightly disagree. Religion should be removed from everything in our government. Yeah, sure. Removing God from trust. We trust from all of our money. It's not needed. Government-owned industry is usually a bad idea. Yeah. Like, if the government owns a thingy, then it's not necessarily good. Religion is beneficial for society. Nope. Absolute freedom makes society dangerous. I'll go back just to say stronger disagree. No. I just don't think that religion is it's not the savior that people say it is. It's not. You can be religious if you want. I don't care. But, religion has historically been used as more of a detriment to people than it is to be a savior. Absolute freedom makes a society dangerous. Disagree. State and local laws have precedence over national laws? Nah. A country must be sure to take all measures to enforce its laws. A country must make sure. Neutral answer. Most bad things happen in the world are caused by us turning away from religion. Nope. Democracy is more than just a decision-making process. Yeah, it's a system of government, and there should be no police force. Strongly disagree. Nations fighting amongst each other gets in the way of progress. Yeah. We should respect those who have served our military. Well, yeah. Unless they were like war criminals, which in that case, not so much respectful for you, bro. Local government just as issues that the national government would never touch without them. No? Like, I mean, I don't get this whole notion that local government is better. Local government is trash. Local government can't even fix fucking potholes in roads. Why can't you just do this simple thing? This simple task. The more people ask, the better chance there is of reaching the best decision. Yeah, I guess. Genetic modification is a force for good, even on humans. Nah. We should not allow any refugees. Disagree. The freer the market, the freer the people. Nope. People must be allowed to follow religion. Well, yeah, no duh. It is important that we further my group's goals above all others. Depends on the group. Like, are you saying religious group or sexual group or whatever? Neutral, unsure. The benefits of open borders would outweigh the costs. Neutral, unsure. We should be taking in more refugees. Yeah, sure. Foreigners should never enter the country. Disagree. Immigrants can never really adapt to our way of life. No, not really. Some immigrants do it just fine. Religious clothing should be banned from the public. No. Oppression from corporations is more of a concern than oppression by governments. Oppression by corporations is more concern than oppression by governments. It's not necessarily better or worse, but no cultures are superior to others. Yeah. People should have the power to choose their leaders. Isn't that elections? Religion must decline for society to progress. Kind of, sort of, neutral, unsure. Maintaining family values is essential. Nope. If AI could rule more efficiently than humans, then AI should rule. Nah. Only those who serve in the military should be allowed to have influence on who is in power. No. Illegal immigrants have no benefits. No. Those who do not work should die. No. Even when protesting an authoritarian government, violence is not acceptable. Kind of. People should hold more loyalty to their local state than their country. Not really, no. The government should not break up monopolies. Strongly disagree. My nation is closer to my views than most nations in the world. Not really. Let me see. My nation is closer to my views than most nations in the world. I mean, neutral, unsure. Depends on the thing. Diplomacy only hurts nations. No? Governments should be as concerned about foreign citizens as they should be with those in their borders. Not really. Kind of. Neutral, unsure. Taxes should be increased on the rich and provide for the poor. 100%. I enjoy some foreign cultures. Yeah. I like Japanese culture a bit. Sex outside of marriage is immoral. No. We should put effort into getting a person on Mars in the near future. It's not really our top concern. Society was better many years ago than it is now. No. Children should be educated in religious values. Nope. My nation should stay out of international affairs. Agree. We should be more interventionist. National government must be strong to adequately protect all of its citizens. Kind of. Any deals other countries want must be bad for us. Not really. It is necessary for the government to intervene in the economy to protect consumers. Yeah. Direct democracy is the best form of government? Yeah. Most drugs should be legalized? Yeah. Military action by our nation is often necessary to protect it? Not necessarily, no. Government surveillance is necessary? No. Lasting peace leads to prosperity? Yep. It's a good idea to test policy in one state rather than implementing a nationwide right away? Kind of. I'll just put neutral on sure again. A nation's culture is important to protect? Not really. It's not really 100% important. Culture is just culture. It just happens. People should be given freedom whenever it causes little security risk. Yeah. People should have the right to leave their wealth to their descendants. I mean, kind of. There should be a tax to it, but yeah, kind of. It is more important to retain peaceful relations than further our strength. Yeah. Local government should have more power than they currently do. I mean, local government has decently enough, so sure. Maybe give them a little more. Every religion must be looked upon equally by the government? Yeah. The government should not fund any religious organizations in any way. Yeah. In the modern era, militaries aren't really necessary. Disagree. Elections are a waste of resources. No. War is needed to make the economy thrive. Not really. We must go back to a basic way of life without modern conveniences. Nope. The poor choose to be poor. Nope. The national government needs more power. Not really. Religion usually provides the truth. Nah. A group of states without a strong national government is merely an alliance, not a nation. Technically, yeah, but I'll put neutral on sure. Equality of outcome is important. Yeah, I'd prefer people to have more equality in outcome. Subdivisions of nations should have their own militaries. Nah. States cannot function without a strong national government. Technically. I am proud to be my country. Yeah. Traditions are important. Nope. Traditions are of no value on their own. Yeah. If you have nothing to hide, then you shouldn't care about the government having access to your communications. No. Human-caused climate change is currently one of the greatest threats to our way of life. Yeah, absolutely. Nations should not maintain a military. Disagree. Each person should have one vote, each equal to every other. Yeah. Traditional medicines are often more effective than modern medicines. What do you mean by that? Traditional medicines are more effective than modern medicines. If you mean like, oh, a rock is better than, this antidepressant, then not really. No authority should be left unquestioned. Absolutely. People should question authority. That is the truth. Nations should cooperate whenever it benefits them both. Yeah. Countries that violate the human rights should be toppled. Toppled? Nah. Toppled? No. But they should have penalties. Marijuana should be legal. 100%. Basic things needed to live, such as healthcare, are rights. Yep. I support gay marriage. Technology is not always beneficial. I'll put slightly disagree. A hierarchical state is best. Not really. It's not best, but it's going to happen. A culture would be better when it mixed with other cultures. Yeah. illegal immigration should be deported. In most or all cases, to strongly disagree. Last question. The sacrifice of some civil liberties is necessary to protect us from foreign acts of terrorism. I'm going to strongly disagree and close my eyes. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I am moderate unitary, moderate democratic. Honestly, I thought this would be a lot more this way. A neutral globalist to isolationist. I'm a pacifist. I'm freedom. I'm for equality. I'm extremely secular, progressive, and I'm a multiculturalist. And the ideology... Oh, it doesn't give me an ideology. It just says that. I guess that makes sense. Well, it's been a year. Another year on my channel. But wait, I forgot to do a thing. I was told that... I told myself, like, if you guys gave me 200 subs by a certain day, I'll review what my sexuality is. I don't know why, but I don't know. I guess I just say it on my chest. Bye. Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell to be notified when a future video of mine comes out. And if you're interested in more content from me, you can go to my website or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, or Quora, or check out my articles on the Independent Political Report.